Good electricity costs, domestic electricity accounts, emergency measures and miscellaneous provisions bill 2022, second stage. What a mouthful, Minister, because you don't intend to do anything for the hard-pressed people. Households are facing annual gas and electricity hikes of 6,000 from early next year. That is more than triple what they were 1,900 they were paying at the start of 2021. Look, Minister, we have figures quoted. I'm not going to quote any more of them here because it's just pure gouging what's going on. I have great respect for ESB and ESB workers and outdoor staff and the work they do always. But your inability here, your government's inability to tackle the conglomerates, to tackle the big multi-billion-dollar people, is just sickening, to be honest. And why can't your Minister do something like he did with COVID? Emergency legislation to cap their prices or to bring some kind of respect on them. When they get away with those kinds of hikes, it's shocking. This follows a range of price rises in the past few years, few weeks, sorry, from other utility company firms, with SSE electricity, community power and prepaid power, all hiking up the costs. When the ESB showed the lead, if you had done something meaningful to deal with them, you would send a clear message to the other people. Hang on a minute, you can't be gouging the ordinary people. Why don't you do something with the standing charges? Quite simple. They're exorbitant at the moment. Why don't you do something with the pay as you go? How are people going to manage in those areas here? And I want something clarified too. If there's 20 flats or 20 units in one ESB going in, one PPN number, RPN number, and they are different, how are they going to claim back how are they going to get this so-called money, man of heaven that you're talking about giving them? The smart meters, I for one think they're way too smart for us all, and it's a con job. That's what my honest belief is, smart meters. And I certainly won't be putting one in or advising anyone to remain either, because you're far too smart at taking money out of the Póca, Nadina, Gocklaw, Gockhooer. And also, I want to ask you now, and maybe you might ask your senior minister, he stood up there, shocked to know him, and said that there was a licence application in front of him. Not actually a licence, but just a continuation of a licence that they already have for Ballyroe. He said they'd have an answer in a few days. That's 2.5 weeks ago. So he's playing with these things, serious issues that are sitting on his desk. He's just refusing point blank to deal with them, and he's just kicking the can down the road and trying to hunt good investors that we've here in Ireland that will bring us in energy at no cost to the taxpayer here. It's all of their own money. Ceist Ella for Antara, or Antara Minister Ryan. I met a group of people last week with my colleagues, and they informed me that the Kinsale gas pipeline, we know it's not being used now, Táisí full of, it's empty, but it's in great condition. I am told, I'm shocked to hear this, I'm told, or we're told, and it's not Dúr Brand Lum, Dúr Brand Leahy, Gur Farr Tipper Don with Pocket and Enega. This is pretty hot information that Minister Ryan has a directive on his desk, waiting to sign it, to actually carry out an act of national sabotage on that pipeline. National sabotage. I would go as far as to call it high treason, to put ready-mix concrete, probably with a 10% increase on top of it, into that pipeline to render it unusable ever again. So I want that question answered, Minister, because if that happens, this man should be, and you with him, should be dragged out of government, and the people should rise up here and say enough's enough. I mean, to damage a piece of infrastructure. What kind of a mind would anybody have? If someone did it, we'd be arresting him as an Gardaí. So a minister is going to sign this order to send ready-mix with employees and others to pour it into a gas line that was laid and served this country for decades, and is still there intact, ready to be used again, but he wants to put ready-mix in that can never be used again because of an ideology. Because of an ideology. Well, I think that the lunatics are definitely running the asylum if that happens. Well, you mean, that's an old saying. I'm not going to say, that's a very old saying. In Galway for Tipper Don. Well, it looks like it to me. If we're going to put, look, Alaska going to put concrete that will go off at 10 Newton or whatever, and it'll be the strongest batch, I suppose, and you'll never again use that pipeline. That's an act of treason, I would call that, if that happens. So I'm asking you to clarify me with immediate response tonight or tomorrow. Is this poppycock, is this wild dream someone has, or could he reach so far as to sign an order to instruct people to carry out that kind of state vandalism, national sabotage, and cutting off our nose to spite our face. We might never be able to use that again, because we have floating gas terminals will come in there and do their treatment of the gas and pump it back into the system here to keep the lights on for the winter. Go on, Margaret.